Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be something that I've been thinking about for a very long time, and these are things that I've done before and I know that it's been working out for me, so I'm sure that it's going to work out for you guys as well. So welcome to today's video, which is your ultimate hygiene guide. So for the sake of convenience, I've divided this video into 4 sections. The first one being oral care, the second one being skin care, the third one being hair care, and the fourth one being body care. So yes, let's get right into it. So now let's go to the skincare part, which also happens to be my favorite section. So the first and foremost tip is the most talked about tip, which is go ahead and change your makeup sponges and clean your makeup brushes. Now, makeup sponges are actually quite cheap, they're not that expensive, and even the really good ones are like probably mid-range in price. So I'm sure that you can go ahead and change those every few months. I would say about changing it once in 2 or 3 months should be fine, depending on how much you use it. If you're using your makeup sponges every day, then you have to change it a lot more frequently. But if you're using your makeup sponge like once in a while, then you can go ahead and change it once in like 2 or 3 months. When it comes to cleaning your makeup brushes, it's actually not that hard. Just take a mug of water which is kind of hot. Just 30 seconds in the oven is more than enough for that, and dunk your brushes in it, and maybe just a few drops of your hand wash with it, and make sure that it's foamy, and then clean your brushes into it. There are many ways. I'll link down a video below as well for the same on how to clean your makeup brushes, so you should go ahead and do that, because there's a lot of bacteria and product buildup that gets in there and you won't know about it. So because you can't see it with your naked eyes, but it's really bad for your skin, so please go ahead and do that. So the next tip would be to use a designated bowl and spoon for your face masks. So if you're a skincare fanatic like me, I love making face masks at home. But what really happens is we end up taking bowls from our kitchen and spoons from our kitchen to make these face masks and then store them in the fridge, which is actually not good for the food that is in your fridge, as well as for the bowl that you're going to use for your skincare stuff and then use it on your face. It's just not that hygienic. So go ahead and grab something that you can use, but you are going to use it only for that one purpose and not for other reasons. What I use is this set I got from Miniso. It basically has a brush to apply the face mask. It has a bunch of these spoons to measure out whatever you're using, as well as a bowl which also has a lid. So what happens is that I use just this for whenever I'm making my face masks, whether it's multani mitti or yogurt. I use it in this, and then once it's over, I will go ahead and wash this out and dry it out and use this again, instead of just using another bowl from my kitchen. Because just think about it, it makes no sense. It just sounds very unhygienic, and it's going to cause a lot of bacteria growth as well, which is not good for your skin or for whatever food you're going to store in there later. So go ahead and use a designated bowl and spoon for all of your face masks. Okay, so the next tip under skincare is very basic, but it's something that I did not realize for a really long time, which is wash your hands before you touch your face. So back when I used to have comedoneal acne, and yes, please let me know in the comment section if you want me to make a video about it, because I would be more than happy to share my experience with you guys. For example, if you were brushing your teeth and now you're gonna go ahead and use a cleanser on your face, make sure that right after you brush your teeth, you wash your hands first before you dispense the product onto your hand. The reason is you want to make sure that there is absolutely no bacteria on your hands or your fingers, the tips of your fingers, before you touch it to your face, because a lot of the pores could also be open, and you don't want any bacteria to get into it, because it could really seep through your skin and cause breakouts as well. The same goes for when you're going to apply makeup with your hands. For example, if you're going to use, let's say, foundation and you're going to dot it onto your face, make sure before you start your whole makeup or your skincare routine, go ahead and wash your hands properly with hand wash and dry them before you go with the next step. So last but not the least is, if you're using a serum like this, a skin serum, go ahead and make sure that when you're using it onto your face, you do not touch the dropper to the surface of your skin, because then what's going to happen is the droppers touch into your skin and then you're going to put it back into the bottle, and that can cause a lot of cross contamination and it's going to make your product a lot more ineffective. So make sure that when you're using any product like a serum or whatever has a dropper, make sure you dispense it onto your skin from a distance and not by touching the surface. Okay, so that was enough for the skincare part. Now we're gonna go on to hair hygiene. So the first step under hair hygiene is going to be, please wash your brushes, hair brushes and combs every time you wash your hair. What I mean by that is, a lot of people we always think about our hair being clean, but even the appliances we're using should be clean. So for example, whenever you're going to wash your hair, like for example, I was washing my hair today. So before I run my comb through my clean hair, I'm going to make sure that my combs are clean as well. So to do that, I just take a little bit of warm water and I use some hand wash or shampoo and clean out my brushes. It's actually not that hard. It's an easy way to make sure that you don't end up with an oily scalp. If you're a person like me, I have like an oily scalp but dry ends, which makes it extremely irritating, because like if I've washed my hair today, next 3 days it's gonna end up becoming oily by the 3rd day, but my ends are totally dry. So it's like, what am I supposed to do and how many times do I have to wash my hair? Because you can see my hair is quite long and it's quite a task to wash my hair a lot. So if you have hair and scalp like mine, make it a point, actually no matter what type of hair you have, make it a point to clean your hair brushes every single time that you wash your hair. This is going to make sure that your hair is cleaner and less oily, and it's going to make sure that your scalp is also cleaner. So this brings me to our next point, which is to make sure that you clean your scalp out every time you're washing your hair. So what ends up happening is we are more fixated on making sure that we are using enough shampoo through the ends, when in reality your ends require almost little to no attention while washing your hair. So the first time you shampoo, you use a few drops of shampoo and clean out your scalp, and to clean out your scalp you will have to use your hands and especially your fingertips, and in going in roundwards motion you have to clean out your scalp with shampoo. Make sure that you lather and really get in there, and doing this has helped me a lot, because like I said, like I mentioned before, I have an oily scalp, and the problem is when we shampoo, we're more fixated on making sure that our whole hair is clean, and we end up using a lot of shampoo, but what we don't do is making sure that the shampoo really is into our roots and our ends. So make sure you scalp massage really well to make sure that you're actually cleaning the whole layer of your scalp, because that's where most of the oil, dirt and grime settle down. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Next step is something that a lot of people won't like, which is don't use dry shampoo as a substitute for washing your hair. Like if you suddenly have plans to go out, then yes, go ahead and use it, because what else option do you have? It's either that or you have to end up having like a slick back hairstyle, which I hate. I don't know, it just doesn't suit me. So using dry shampoo does make it feel like your hair is a lot more cleaner, or it gives the illusion of your hair being less oily, but it is not a substitute for cleaning your hair. A lot of people end up using dry shampoo to stretch out their hair washing day, but I think that's just not the right way to go, because dry shampoo is not gonna eliminate the dirt, bacteria and grime that is stuck in your scalp, and that actually ends up causing more breakage. So the only way to get your hair very clean is by washing it and not just using anything over it. Now let's move on to body care. So the first tip that I would like to give you is to use a loofah for exfoliation. Now I know a lot of people use loofah and it doesn't really feel like it's exfoliating much, so people end up using something like this. These are scrubs that are marketed towards being good for your skin exfoliation, but I would not recommend it. Reason is because it has a lot of fragrance as well, and it ends up clogging your bathroom. So it does more worse than good. Yeah, it definitely feels good, it smells good, but I feel like it's more of a wastage of not just money but also your resources. Exfoliation glove like this one is a lot more economical, a lot more eco-friendly, as well as a lot better at actually doing the job. I'm wearing it wrong. exfoliation gloves, as you can see, it makes it really easy to exfoliate your skin while you're in the shower, and I feel like it does a better job than those product scrubs that are marketed towards, you know, making your skin a lot better and making sure that you don't have strawberry skin due to shaving or waxing. But I feel this works really good, and you can replace this depending on how much you use it. I use it usually once a week, not more than that, because I do not want to, you know, aggravate my body skin. Next tip is to use a roll-on deodorant. So this is an odor control underarm roll-on by Chemist at Play. I'll link this down below if you guys needed this, as well as the loofah glove. It works out really well for me, and what basically happens is all of us use body mists because they smell so good, but we forget that we need to also make sure that perspiration is not the reason that we smell bad. So to make sure that we can combat that, we need to use something like this. This right after taking a shower really helps. Then you can go ahead and layer it with a nice perfume or a body mist of your choice. That's going to make sure that you smell fresh throughout the day, and not just smell fresh but also feel fresh underneath your clothes. So the oral care part. So the first tip that I would like to give you is go ahead and use floss. Now there's a lot of people I know who don't use dental floss, and since I used to have a lot of problems with oral health back when I was a child, my dentist told me that it is a must to use floss. Now the reason is, if you don't use floss, a lot of times you won't realize that there are bits and pieces of food stuck between your teeth, and for the other person who's talking to you, it's really unpleasant to truly look at, and when you realize it later, you feel embarrassed yourself. Using floss is gonna make sure that there are no bits and pieces of food stuck in between your teeth. And the second would be to use a little bit of your toothpaste onto your floss and then use it in between your teeth. So what that's gonna do is it's gonna make sure that your teeth are a lot more cleaner, and that you're able to clean the parts that are right between two of your teeth, because it's really hard for your toothbrush bristles to actually get in there and do all of the cleaning. So yeah, this using floss is actually going to be a game changer, and you should use it daily. The second oral hygiene tip would be using a tongue scraper or a tongue cleaner. So I have no idea how there's a lot of people who don't even know the concept of tongue cleaner, which is kind of weird, because at least here in India, I think it is quite common for a lot of people to use, but it's kind of like an accessory in a lot of other parts of the world, which is just bizarre to me. Using a tongue cleaner daily is more than enough to help you get rid of bad breath single-handedly, because in general everybody brushes their teeth, and as long as it looks sparkling white, we're very happy. Oh, okay, my teeth look clean. But for the other person talking to you, what really matters more than just your sparkly smile is if you smell good or not. And if your mouth is not going to be smelling good, it's going to be a terrible experience for the person who's talking to you. So yeah, go ahead and make sure that you use a tongue cleaner / tongue scraper as well as dental floss in your daily oral care routine. So thank you, that's it for this video guys. Please let me know if you want to know a part 2. There's definitely a lot more points that we could cover, but I wanted to keep this video short, sweet and informative, and I really hope that it helps you guys out. So do let me know down in the comment section what you think about this video and what you would like to see next, because that really helps me out, and I love knowing what you guys think as well. I go through all the comments and it really makes my day. Yeah, please leave down below your thoughts on this video, and if you have any questions or any links that you need, please do let me know, and please like, share and subscribe if you like this type of lifestyle, skincare, hair care, mini vlog kind of content. And yeah, see you, love you, take care.